ahead, Tony.
This is Special Agent Anthony Amoroso, Jr., Federal Bureau of Investigation. Today's date is January 7th, 1980. Location, a townhouse in Washington, D.C. In a short while, I'm expecting a meeting between myself, Mel Weinberg, Howard Crichton, and U.S. Congressman John Murtha. In front of me is $50,000 in 5 packets. Each packet contains $10,000 in $100 bills. I am placing this money in the desk drawer directly in front of me. This money will remain in such a position until the termination of my meeting, which is to take place later on this morning.
Mel Weinberg.
Got some grip. That's campaigning grip.
Where's Tony? You like his house?
Hello, Howard. How you doing?
Okay, how are you?
How much you pay for this?
How you doing?
Let's understand it. Break your fingers. He said, this house cost $250,000.
Is that what this house cost?
300.
$300,000. You know what you could buy this house for at home? Shit. Well, of course, this is nice inside, but you know, you get out of here in this goddamn place. You look at these houses, and you get your mind gets screwed up by thinking the prices are so far out of line.
Well, prices within these major cities are. It's all you're buying is location. You're not buying content or building. Hey, what's the matter with Florida?
Yeah,
Florida.
Right? Yeah.
You know, down there it's unbelievable.
It's worse than it is here?
It's they average. I think what the average now is going is they say that the houses are increasing about $900 to $1,000 a month.
Well, you've been in my place.
Yeah.
I have a place in Florida.
Got a gorgeous place.
A nice place right on the ocean. The boys have been there. I paid $75,000 for that
What
apartment.
about yard and a half today?
$1.50. I could get $150,000.
How long ago?
6 years ago.
And 6 years ago, they couldn't give them places away.
Exactly.
You know, we had a guy named Jack Slack, who's a member from West Virginia. He bought a house for $53,000, maybe 8 years ago. He sold it and moved over to the hill, and had some people broke in, all kinds of problems, so he couldn't. Son of a bitch, 3 years later, he bought the same house back for $89,000. Today, the goddamn thing's worth about $125,000 or $30,000. I mean, it's unbelievable. The goddamn.
Well, I was reading an article the other day, about a week ago. There's a congressman living in his office.
Yeah.
He can't afford to buy a place.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. Do you know who this fellow is?
Sure, know him well.
He lives actually in his office.
That's right.
And he goes to the club in the morning to take his shower.
That's right. You got we got a locker room there with a swimming pool and so forth. And can you imagine a guy doing that? Right.
Well, I can understand. Listen, I came down last night, okay?
Yeah, well, they get over $100
And I
a day.
stayed at the Hyatt,
Right.
which is because it's close to the hill. And I came, my son's on his way to Florida. You know my son, Arthur.
Yeah.
So he was on his way to Florida. So I said, listen, we'll drive down, we'll stay overnight, we'll have breakfast, and I'll show you around. I brought him in this morning, and I showed him around. So we got a room just for the two of us, $110, and it's much nicer than a Holiday Inn room that you would get anywhere else. Fucking heat didn't work when I got in last night. I had to call down to send up. Nothing.
I'll tell you this, Howard, across the river now, in Alexandria, they've got the Ramada Inn, very nice, $43 a night, and it's just as nice as the Hyatt Regency, because I've been in both places. They got it 12 minutes away from the Capitol, but people don't know about it.
The restaurant top?
No, that's the Marriott. That's, or I don't know if that's Ramada or not.
That's
It's
Ramada.
beyond that, down on the other side of the airport. 12 minutes from the Capitol, and the goddamn thing is $43 a night. And they have rates sometime in the weekends where they're cheaper than that.
Well, we stay in the plaza in the city, and they get $125 a day.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
Everything in the city. And all you have to do is go across the goddamn bridge a little bit out of the way. Holiday Inn down in Alexandria is about $50 or $60. The reason I know this, my brothers, I invite them up every year we have a little family reunion. I have 3 brothers, and so we check around to get the best prices. By God, just a little bit out of town, they're reasonable goddamn prices.
Unbelievable, this town. This town's the worst, I think, in New York. I really do, I think this way. Let's get talking about some business, man, because I think that John may have some things that, mutual interest, okay?
All right.
John comes from a district which is a large coal mining area. Okay?
Let me tell you the district, and matter of fact, just telling Howard on the way up here, we're trying to get Westinghouse to build a synthetic fuel plant in our district, $1.5 billion. And I had the Assistant Secretary of Energy for procurement and for commercialization over to the office, and the son of a bitch, the guy from Westinghouse comes in and almost screws it up by saying, well, our process isn't this. And after the Department of Energy recommends the bastards, he's giving us a runaround. I don't understand it, but anyway, the point is, we've got 50% of the coal reserves in Pennsylvania in the district. We've got coal mines on their ass. I mean, they're hurting because they, in '74, when we had the embargo, they wanted to produce coal. The government said we're going to go to coal. They spent a lot of money. Some of them mortgaged their goddamn houses and businesses and everything else, bought big equipment, and the demand for coal went down. The demand for coal is starting to go up. We got this program nationally, which is at the point where we're going to have coal conversion all through the eastern United States, and it's going to be big. We figure they'll start using eastern coal in the next year or so, but these guys can't hold out. They're going bankrupt to Chapter 13, a hell of a lot of them. I don't know, there were 5 in one week period when I was meeting a group up there in Clarion County. We've got a lot of